He was very notorious in the childhood. और जब वो बहुत ज़्यादा शैतानी करते थे तो माँ कहती थी मैंने शिवजी से प्रार्थना की थी और उन्होंने अपना कोई भूत भेज दिया मेरे पास. भूत और गणों के देवता है तो ऐसे ही कोई भेज दिया. He was right from the beginning very curious, questioning mind. And whenever somebody said that believe in God, he would ask, have you seen God? And that was the turning point in his life. When he was studying Bachelor of Arts in Presidency College, Calcutta, he came in contact with Brahmo Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Keshav Chandra Sen, Vijay Goswami, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Ravindranath Thakur's elder brother. He came in contact with all of them and had a lot of discussions. This young man of 23 discussing with all of them on big concepts like what is Brahman and things like that. But the main question was, you all describe Brahman from the books, but have you really seen God? That was the question. क्या आपने ईश्वर को देखा है? And nobody could answer. Keshav Chandra Sen of Brahma Samaj used to give lectures on Brahma, how it is Nirakar, Nirvikar. He was doing his meditation and sadhana in Ganga on a boat house. Swami Vivekananda swam to the boathouse. In the evening when the sunset was happening, Keshav Chandra Sen was doing, Thakurji, Ravindranath Thakur's elder brother was doing the meditation. And Narendra entered there and asked him, have you seen God? He could not answer. He said, your eyes are very poignant. तुम्हारी आंखें बड़े गंभीर हैं. You can meditate. You will be a good meditator. Swami Vivekananda said, don't digress. Don't flatter me. I am asking you a pertinent question. Have you seen Brahman? You speak on Brahman. And then he had to say, no, I have not seen. Swami Vivekananda went back, swam back. Did not discuss with him anything. Why should I discuss it with him? If you don't know the God, why should I discuss? And one day, he was told in one of his lectures by Professor Hesty, who was teaching Wordsworth poem, and in that the word trance came. While explaining the word trance, Professor Hesty said, it is a mental stage in which you lose everything and you don't have any consciousness. It is beyond consciousness. And he said, the yogis call it samadhi. Professor William Hesty said. And then he gave reference to Ramakrishna Paramahansa. वो दक्षिणेश्वर का पुजारी, that preacher at Dakshineshwar is said to be attaining that bhava samadhi, that trance. That was the first introduction to Ramakrishna in Swami Vivekananda, Narendra's life. And then his maternal uncle, Mama Ramachandra Datta, introduced Swami Vivekananda to Ramakrishna Paramahansa in one of his friend's house when Ramakrishna visited there. Narendra was invited to sing bhajans. And Swami Vivekananda sang a very beautiful baul bhajan in Bangla which said, Chalamana Nija Niketane. Oh mind, go to your own abode, home. Very beautiful Bangla bhajan. Ramakrishna went into trance, weeping profusely, tears from his eyes, and went into Bhava Samadhi and asked Narendra to come to Dakshineshwar. And when Narendra visited Dakshineshwar, Ramakrishna welcomed him. On the third visit, Ramakrishna touched his... So Narendra asked Ramakrishna on the third visit, have you seen God? And here was the first person replying in affirmative. Ramakrishna smiled and said, I have not just seen God, I can see God more clear than what I can see you. And the next question was, can you show it to me? You can see, that is good, but can you show it to me? And Ramakrishna touched Swami Narendra's heart with his right foot. And Swami Vivekananda spoke in London in a lecture called My Master, in which Swami Vivekananda says, on that day, with that touch, I lost everything. सब कुछ गोलाकार घूमता था, everything was circling in a round and entering into a whirlpool. and I was lost and I was so afraid. I remembered my mother, I remembered my father and said, oh, आपने क्या कर दिया? बचाओ, बचाओ, मेरा परिवार है. And Ramakrishna left his foot and touched his heart, massaged it with his right hand and said, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. And within 3 days he attained Nirvikal Samadhi. So these are the turning points in Narendra's life. This is how Narendra became Vivekananda. It is not just one experience, it is 6 years of tapas. 1886 to 1892. When Ramakrishna died in 1892. Those 6 years, Narendra was transformed into Vivekananda. It is a great journey of an atheist, a questioning mind, turning completely into a Shraddhavan Bhakta. A beautiful story. Repeated again with Margaret Noble and Swami Vivekananda, when Margaret Noble turned into Nivedita, which means the dedicated. That is a journey of 6 days. This is a journey of 6 years. Nivedita was reformed in 6 days in Almora. That is another story which she has written beautifully in her own words in Master as I Saw Him. One of the greatest books on Swami Vivekananda written by Nivedita.
With that, we have the answer to our next question. Is there a book that you would like to recommend for the viewers or for the audience here that they should read to know more about?
There are many good books. One is Master as I Saw Him, as I said, which is experienced by. Another is Swami Vivekananda's biography by Eastern and Western disciples, in which the first-hand account is there. One very beautiful emotional biography is written by Romain Rolland, a French author, historian who never visited Bharat. But when he asked Rabindranath Tagore, how do I understand Bharat? And Rabindranath Tagore told him, to understand Bharat, you have to understand Ramakrishna. And to understand Ramakrishna, you have to read Vivekananda. So Romain Rolland has written 3 biographies: Ramakrishna's biography, Vivekananda's biography, and Mahatma Gandhi's biography. So that one of the very good biographies by him. The best account of Swami Vivekananda's life is by Shailendranath Dhar, comprehensive biography of Swami Vivekananda, which is published in 2 volumes by Vivekananda Kendra publication, Chennai. For Swami Vivekananda's thoughts, 10 volumes have been published by Ramakrishna Mission. A small reader is also being published by Ramakrishna Mission. The book that I have compiled, Essential Vivekananda, is also a collection of Swami Vivekananda's original thoughts. So if you do not have time for 10 volumes, these are the essential things which you should read. One of the very good compilation is by Eknath Ranade, who established the Vivekananda Rock Memorial. In Hindi it is named Uttishtata Jagrata. In English, Rousing Call to the Hindu Nation. That is compilation by Eknath Ranade of Swami Vivekananda's thoughts. So these are some books on Swami Vivekananda. I can go on. 22 years I have lived Vivekananda.
Thank you for sharing this video. And I think with that we have the last question. We would like to know more about Bharatiya Shikshan Mandir and also how they are taking the message of Vivekananda to you.
Bharatiya Shikshan Mandir was established in 1969 with a motto to create an indigenous education system in Bharat. So शिक्षा का भारतीयकरण ये उद्देश्य है. Because in 1835 the education system with the Indian Education Act was topsy-turvy. शीर्षासन कर दिया उसका, उल्टा कर दिया. We do not take the name of that great person who drafted that law. Everybody blames him, but we say 75 years of independence, we should not blame the Britishers now. We have to correct this course. And for that course correction, at 4 levels, Bharatiya Shikshan Mandir works. At the aim of education level, which should not be just lopsided education of intellectual development. It should be complete personality development, not just personality development, but societal concern. सामाजिक रूप से भी वह जागृत होना चाहिए व्यक्ति. And first is individual, holistic individual development at all, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual and spiritual level. Number 2 is the societal binding. I have to give back to the society. That should come in the students. So that should be the aim of education. The third is nation building, the national consciousness. And the fourth is universal environmental consciousness. Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya. At all these 4 levels, the aim should be defined, not at single level. It is not just individualistic, it is universal. Number 2 is policy and construct of education, on which Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal works. It should be diverse, it should be decentralized, it should be autonomous. And the third is content. What should be the syllabus, curriculum, syllabus and evaluation matrix, content of education. And the fourth is pedagogy. Today, the whole world develops curriculum with using the pedagogy based on Bloom's taxonomy. First designed in 1958 and then somewhat done some repairing in 2001. But last 20 years there is no development in Bloom's taxonomy. That cognitive, psychometric and affective domain are not enough. As I said, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual and spiritual, at all these 5 levels we have to see education. For that, a better taxonomy has to come to better pedagogy. So Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal is working on Taittiriya taxonomy. We have created a text with 108 aphorisms called Shiksha Sutra. Like Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, Narada Bhakti Sutra, Vyasa's Brahma Sutra. This is Shiksha Sutra, which can be applied to Harvard, to Stanford, to Mumbai University, to IITs, to NITs, to Gurukula education. The common benchmarking of what should be the education, what are the lakshanas, what are the attributes of education which should be followed at all these 4 or 5 levels. So Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal is doing a very original work in the area of research also. We have created a foundation called Research for Researchers Foundation to evolve or develop a completely indigenous way of Bharat Kendrit research in our universities. A multidisciplinary, multi-institutional research institute, a network, a movement of research paradigm, that is RFRF, Research for Resurgence Foundation. We have Gurukul Prakalpa, in which we have networked more than 4,000 Gurukulas presently functioning in Bharat. And there are more than 10,000 such Gurukulas. We are making them Yuganukul, not modern. We are contemporarizing them. Yuganukul Gurukula. So these are many activities of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. You can visit BSM Bharat, bsmbharat.org, on which you will get this. I will send the brochure to Navinji, who can spread it through WhatsApp to all of you. Thank you. My mail ID is also very simple, mukul@bsmbharat.org, mukul@bsmbharat.org. You can write to me anytime.
Thank you so much for explaining and walking into the details of the structure and vision of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. With that, we end the question and answer session. And to stretch the vote of time,